In your estimation, Senator, I don't want to make you play psychobabble or anything like that, but is your read from your squishier colleagues who backed the Dems' gun control bill, is your read that they did it for political reasons to appease their purple or blue constituencies, or did they do it because of conviction, because they think it's actually good to take away guns from more Americans?
Now, look, there were a number of them from pretty red states that weren't from blue or purple states. I don't know. I'm not an armchair shrink. I think it is consistently the case that when a Republican compromises with the Democrats and does what the Democrats want, that the press will praise them. It's an easy path. If you want the press to call you a statesman, just do what the Democrats want. And as a Republican, it's simple. 100% of the time you give in to the Democrats, the press says, oh, you're so wise, you're so enlightened. And it's a pattern we see over and over again. You know, you think about this bill. This is a bill that united all the Democrats. Every Democrat voted for this bill. The most left-wing Democrats happily voted for this bill. And less than a third of the Republicans voted for this bill. More than a few of us were asking of our leadership, why are we teeing up a bill that unites all the Democrats and divides the Republicans and makes us fight with each other? I get why this makes sense for Chuck Schumer. Why does this make sense for us? But when I said my amendment is going to be a substitute, I'm not willing to just rubber stamp what you're doing, it made the proponents of the bill pretty angry. And Schumer ended up saying no amendments at all. And so he blocked amendments. Now, the way you block amendments, and let's get into a little bit of arcane Senate procedure. When you have a bill pending on the floor, there is what's called the amendment tree, which is there are open slots for amendments. And what Schumer did is what's called filling the tree, which is he brings up the bill, then he files an amendment, and he files another amendment. He fills the legs on the tree. And typically the blocking amendment is something really minor and inconsequential. It's something like changing a date from September 1st to September 2nd. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just an amendment to block that slot so no one else can file an amendment. So because Schumer refused to allow any amendments, what I did tonight is I exercised the prerogatives of a senator to move to table a pending amendment. And in particular, I moved to table Schumer's amendment that was filling the tree, that was blocking the tree. Right. And under Senate rules, a motion to table an amendment is a privileged motion with no debate that forces a vote. So it was a way for me to force a vote. And I stood up and said, look, I'm moving to table this in order to force a vote on Cruz-Barrasso. And this is a chance for everyone here to decide which one you want. Do you want to pass a bill that is serious about going after violent criminals, about locking up gun criminals, and that provides much, much more funds and resources to make schools safe, to double the number of cops in schools to protect our kids? Or do you want to pass a political bill that satisfies the partisan urges of the Democrats? That's your choice. That's what we voted on tonight, and unfortunately, that vote failed. We got a total of 39 votes to table the amendment, which meant all the Democrats and 8 Republicans voted to block any more amendments to prevent consideration of the serious legislation that actually would put real resources on the table to stop violent crime.
So that means that 6 Republicans backed the Democrats' gun control bill, but also didn't try to shoot down your amendment.
Correct.
So a way to sort of split the baby there, but I guess we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, we picked off about half the Republicans who were supporting this, and so that was an incremental benefit. And by the way, look, I'll also say we were working with gun rights groups, so the NRA actively supported my amendment and publicly urged senators to vote for it. Why? Because it targets the bad guys. It targets criminals. It actually focuses on how you stop gun crimes rather than disarming law-abiding citizens. But unfortunately, a majority of the Senate wanted to go down a political road instead.